Hello, good morning, and welcome to another Honkai Star Rail video. Alright, so it's time for another Memory of Chaos gameplay footage video. And based on the title of this video, you guys probably already guessed, I'm getting quite bored of the game. Not much new has been introduced. Yes, there's like events and whatnot, but everything else is pretty much still the same. Of course, I'm looking really forward to the next patch of 1.6 with the new characters, as well as the 2 additional floors on the Memory of Chaos. But in order to cope with my current boredom of the game, I've even decided to swap up the first half of my team for the Memory of Chaos. I actually benched my Zealite, who is my second strongest main DPS, in place of Sushang, who is actually one of my favorite characters in the game. I just didn't really have the time or didn't really bother building her until now, since there really wasn't really a need for her. She's just basically a slightly worse version of Zealite. So my team for the first half of Memory of Chaos consists of Serval, Sushang, Silverwolf, and Fu Xuan. And my second team is pretty much the same as I used in the previous seasons of Memory of Chaos, which consists of Pela, Tingyang, Bailu, and Imbiber Lunane. With these two teams, I managed to clear the 10th floor within 20 cycles. Probably not the cleanest run I've had. Got a little bit unlucky with RNG and probably had a couple of misplays here and there. But I didn't really want to bother doing any more runs, so I just went with the one run that completed the entire stage. Regardless of that, I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay as usual. Alright, so for the first half, we use Fu Xuan's technique and initiate the fight with Serval's technique, or the electrical break, or shock, as you guys like to call it. Alright, here's Silverwolf. We implant the physical weakness for Sushang. We weakness break this unit, so Sushang can use her skill. And since my Sushang is at Eidolon 1, she refunds a skill point. The robot now summons the annoying fish. That's okay, Serval can take care of them shortly. Fu Xuan is able to resist that imprisonment because we have the matrix up. And here we pop Serval's ultimate to do massive AoE damage as well as weakness break the 2 fish on the side. Here we decide to go for the fish, pop the ultimate onto the fish as well. Should kill it, causing it to detonate. And now we kill off the other fish with the other skill. Now we start focusing down on the robot. There's Silverwolf's ultimate. We refresh the matrix as well as pop Fu Xuan's ultimate. And the new, turbulence gives us energy at the end of every cycle, so it's pretty nice. That means you want to be spamming your ultimates whenever they're up. Only in certain situations where you need the ultimate for a specific reason, you might want to hold it then. There's a skill into Sushang's ultimate. Like, the difference between having Eidolon 1 and Eidolon 0 Sushang is quite huge. Like, we're saving a lot of skill points thanks to the initial Eidolon, which is why I didn't really want to build Sushang up until I pulled at least one extra copy of her. Actually, I didn't even manage to pull a copy of her, or extra copy of her. I got the extra copy from that one event we had where we got a free Sushang. Yeah, she becomes quite a viable character once you get more copies of her. There's the turbulence again. We focus on one of the fish, almost killing it off. Not quite enough damage, but that's okay. Silverwolf is going to finish it off here. Almost finish it off. Fu Xuan will finish it off. And now it's going to reduce the defense of the main robot, which we will just kill with the shock. Alright, on to the second battle. There's a maiden and a robot that we gotta deal with. We focus down the maiden first. There's Fu Xuan's ultimate. And the maiden or Guardian Shadow there does her like little penalty thing where you're not allowed to focus her. We're going to completely ignore that and focus her regardless. I'm going to throw a giant chicken, big chicken on the maiden here. Weakness breaking her, and now we can get a refund of skill points every time we attack into her with Sushang. Unfortunately, Silverwolf gets imprisoned here. This is where some of the RNG comes into play, where some of my units I don't want to get CC'd do get CC'd here, so you'll see shortly or near the end of the fight how that affects the outcome of this fight. So we're just trying to take down the maiden here. Some might argue you can focus the robot first, which is also viable, but I really just want to get rid of this maiden because she's going to constantly do that penalty thing. And having the fish up isn't necessarily a bad thing. Although they do constantly defense break your team, they also add additional defense break onto the enemy opponents. And once you kill off the robot or the automation thing, he won't be spawning those fish anymore. So here we go for the ultimate onto the maiden from Silverwolf. After we defense break her, we will throw Serval's ultimate out as well. Here I'm deciding which target to focus for Serval's skill. I think I ultimately choose the, what do you call it, the maiden as the main target, as we're trying to kill her first. Fortunately here, Sushang gets imprisoned. She's probably one of the worst targets to get imprisoned. Ideally, you want either... Probably Fu Xuan's the best target, although if she's imprisoned, she won't use her passive skill, but she is really tanky, so it's not too bad. Yeah, but definitely Sushang and Serval are the two units I don't want to get imprisoned by the robot, but she does get imprisoned. Here we use the chicken again, the power of chicken. Boom, and then we weakness break the maiden, and we finish her off with the skill. On average, the skill and ultimate are doing around 40k damage, which is pretty solid for a 4-star character. It's nowhere near my Zile's damage that I previously used, but it's getting the job done fairly well here. Here we're waiting for some of the fish to get out of weakness break. Here's the last one before we use the Serval's ultimate. It's a little bit energy inefficient, but due to the turbulence, I don't really mind, and I want the extra weakness break damage. So as you can see, it causes a huge chain reaction there. And we almost have full energy on Serval anyway. She only needs another skill, and then she'll be fully charged. So we go for the fish here. Ultimate, summon the chicken again. This time we throw it onto the robot automation tower. Not tower. Robot, whatever you want to call it. Skill again. I think I get unlucky with the... her talent or passive, whatever thing that procs the extra damage didn't go off, so it only did 28k damage. Fish, last fish gets detonated, and it's getting a little bit dangerous here. Sushang does get imprisoned here, although I probably would have preferred her, because if they went for either Fu Xuan or what do you call it, Silverwolf, they probably would have died there, resulting in the run to be bricked. Fu Xuan finally wakes up. We use the ultimate to heal everyone up, as well as gain 1 stack of her passive. I try to finish off the robot here with Silverwolf's ultimate, but we fall just a bit short of damage. Just a little bit short. As you can see here, he lives with like probably about a couple thousand HP. Try to finish him off with Sushang's basic, but that didn't work, so we go chicken. Alright, second half, we start off with Bai Lu's technique, 2 Ting Yung's techniques, and now we initiate the fight with Palo's technique. That's the first time I experienced Argenti and Memory of Chaos. We did have that like really small fight with his side story. I didn't really pay attention to the mechanics, so we kind of just ran with it and just brute forced it with Imbiber Lunane, as we usually do. So here's his ultimate. We focus down one of the golems here. There is one issue with this team that I've noticed, is my Imbiber Lunane, although you don't want him to be fast, I think mine is a little bit too slow. Because every time he uses his ultimate and advances himself forward, after he finishes off his combo, as you can see, he's currently below the cycle bar, below the 24 cycles remaining. So I think I need to either put, I mean, it's going to be easier said than done because I need to roll speed substats. I don't want to be running speed boots on Imbiber Lunane. So I'm either going to have to somehow find a way to boost his speed up, or I might have to put back Dance 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 on my Ting Yung for the advance forward, and also put her on the Space Hacker Station set, or whatever the name of that set is, the 4-piece set where it boosts the ally speed whenever you use an ultimate that targets an ally or something like that. Currently I have her on a 4-piece Musketeer set because I have a lot of those pieces, and generally Ting Yung's one of the characters that uses the Musketeer set the best out of most characters. Yeah, I just figured that it'd be a pretty good set on her, but it seems like I'm probably going to have to run that 4-piece speed set on her in order to allow my Imbiber Lunane to take more turns or cycles, which will be very useful on the upcoming later stages of Memory of Chaos, floor 11 and 12. So here we're just trying to finish off the 2 Flame Golems. Here we go for a level 3 basic attack, or enhanced basic attack into the ultimate. Into another level 3 attack. Unfortunately, the damage is just a little bit short. Like, barely. He barely lives. Like, one basic attack from Pela ends up killing him. Alright, on to Argentine now. So yeah, that's just a little bit of the RNG where I said if I either landed additional crits or just had a little bit more damage, we probably would have finished this run within one or two cycles less. Alright. Now we give the attack buff back to Imbiber Lunate, and he uses his ultimate. And we pop the Bailu ultimate because Pela's pretty low, and I don't want her dying, although we do have Bailu's revive. Here I go for an enhanced, or not enhanced, we go for a skill. I think just because I wanted to generate enough energy for the defense break on her ultimate here. Alright, here's Argentine's giant AoE. Does quite a bit of damage. Not too insane, not like too alarming. Definitely not as scary as the Swarm Disaster boss. That stupid bug is definitely one of the most annoying enemies I've ever fought. Right, so here we pop Pela's ultimate into Bailu's ultimate to top everyone off. Yeah, I just go for a basic. Everyone's topped off. No need to use her skill. Here we actually go for Imbiber Lunane's third enhanced basic attack instead of just using the ultimate, since it's technically already our turn. It's like not energy efficient, but this way I'm able to dish out additional damage with Imbiber Lunane. And like I said before, the turbulence this season allows you to be a little less efficient with your energy in order to deal, and more lenient with like your ultimates. That way you can dish out more damage. Alright, on to the second phase. Here we pop both Pela and Imbiber Lunane's ultimates. Here I'm deciding on what I should do, whether to heal my team or basic. I ended up healing. Bailu's ultimate is back up. We just defense break that one shield or sword. I think those are swords actually. Whatever. Here's the giant AoE into Pela ultimate and Bailu ultimate to keep everyone alive. Alright, Ting Young's ultimate is up. I just go for it on Imbiber Lunane and immediately pop it as well. Get a shield, apparently, for killing that one sword. Actually, you know what? I mean, this is a little bit off topic, but these swords remind me of Aegislash from Pokemon, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they really look like Aegislash. Alright, there's basic attack from Bailu. Here I go for the skill, I think, just to get more energy. Here's another AoE. There's quite a bit of damage, not quite enough because we have the Invigoration from Bailu. That hurts a lot. Whoa, okay. So it seems like his swords, like the extra attacks, deal more damage than Argentine himself. Bit of a panic here. I think I pretty much button mashed because I saw the amount of damage. So instead of using Imbiber Lunane's ultimate first, we hit Ting Young's ultimate, which is obviously energy inefficient, but at the end of the day, I didn't think it really mattered that much. Yeah, since we're on the last cycle anyways. There's the third enhanced basic attack, and the sword's residual damage end up finishing him off. And that's the run within 20 cycles, just enough. Alright, now let's go over my characters and their gear. Let's start off with Sushang. These are her stats. Lycone, she's using Moment of Victory. Traces. Relics. Eidolons, she's at Eidolon 0. Alright, next is Bailu. These are her stats. Lycone is perfect timing at Super Imposition level 2. These are her traces. Relics. Eidolons, she's also at Eidolon 0. Alright, and here's my Ting Young. These are her stats. Quite a bit of speed. That's going to be one issue when I swap sets or relics on her, is trying to maintain the same amount of speed. But we'll get to that issue when the time comes. Lycone is but the battle isn't over at Super Imposition level 1. These are her traces. I did some upgrading on her traces recently as there is a double drop event. So there's that. Her relics, like I said before, she's currently on a 4-piece Musketeer set. With quite a few pieces with definitely quite a bit of speed. Not this one, but some of the other pieces are pretty cracked. This one's okay. This one's not too bad as well. Eidolons, unfortunately, she's at Eidolon 0. I'm sure at some point I'll eventually pull one copy of her. At some point, it's bound to happen. Alright, next is the Gamer Girl, Silverwolf. These are her stats. Lycone is before the tutorial mission starts at Super Imposition level 5. These are traces. I don't know if I really want to put any more investment into them. It's really expensive. We do have the double event drop right now, but I gotta work on future characters that are coming up that I plan on pulling for. These are relics, also a 4-piece Musketeer set, and they're all pretty solid all round. She might need a little bit more speed, but other than that, she's pretty much fully built at this point. As for Eidolons, she's also at Eidolon 0. Alright, and now it's time to showcase my legendary Imbiber Lunane. These are his stats, which actually aren't that great. He still needs some work, ironically. What can I say? Relics are a pain in this game. Lycone is on the Fall of an Eon at Super Imposition level 5. These are his traces, completely maxed out, and well worth it in my opinion. These are his relics. They're pretty solid, but like I said, still needs some improvement. He needs a little bit more speed if I want him to be more turn efficient, and he needs a little bit more crit damage and crit rate. And he also needs that, I forgot the name of the set, it's the crit rate set that increases basic attack and skill. Eidolons, of course you guys should already know, he's at Eidolon 2. And now it's time for the star of today's show, Savior Sushang. Just kidding, it's just Sushang, aka Chicken. And her stats are pretty solid all round. She has the ideal crit rate of 70%, which I like all my DPS characters to be roughly around the same. Crit damage is definitely above average, close to 190, almost 200. And then these are the rest of her stats. Lycone, I basically took the same Lycone Zealey had, cruising in the Stellar Sea, Super Imposition level 5, and moved it over to her. I do have a copy of Swordsplay, but I don't really want to grind the trace materials just to build it up, and it's only at Super Imposition level 1, although I still think it does slightly more damage than cruising in the Stellar Sea. But regardless, until I get more copies of it, I'm probably just going to stick with this Lycone instead. These are her traces. I put quite a bit of investment into her as she is a main DPS, and she needs the investment in order to do damage, so I don't really regret it, and like I said, she's one of my favorite characters in the game, if not my favorite character. Relics, all I did literally was move my relics from Zealey over to Sushang, and believe it or not, the 4-piece Quantum set actually works quite well on her, especially since I pair her with Silverwolf, and I'm able to implant that Quantum weakness, so she gets that 20% extra defense shred on the opponent. Of course, the quantum damage doesn't do anything for her, but that's why we're running a 4-piece set. And since I spent literally an eternity in that damn domain to grind these relics for Zile, I'm definitely going to be able to form a 4-piece set. Yeah, they're pretty much almost the exact same pieces, and that's why she's able to reach such a high amount of crit rate as well as crit damage. For her planar sphere and link rope, I just took 2 pieces that I thought were pretty solid for her, and just slapped it on her, and she turned out to be alright. Yeah, she's doing fine. Eidolons, she's at Eidolon 1. Alright, next is my Serval. These are her stats. I thought she was at level 80 because I said to myself I need to get her to level 80 so she can do more break effect damage, but apparently I was either too lazy or forgot to grind some extra mobs out to the side, so she's still at level 79 apparently. Light Cone is the seriousness of breakfast at superimposition level 5. Traces, I did work on her traces a little bit. I got her ultimate up to level 10, and I believe her basic attack from level 3 to level 5, or whether it was level 3 or level 4, I'm not sure. I just wanted 1 additional level. It didn't cost that much, and she does use her basic attack occasionally for the basic skill rotation. Relics, also, I gave her a 4-piece quantum damage set, just because I figured if I want to put her on a team that has Silver Wolf, and some of the opponents are going to be weak to quantum damage, why not just run this set? The defense penetration's actually quite useful, and I don't have any really good pieces of the lightning set to put on her, nor do I have enough pieces to make a 4-piece break effect set. So I figured the 4-piece quantum set will be good enough on her as well, and I do have some pretty decent pieces, as you can see. Like I said, I did grind this domain quite a bit, just for Zile herself. And potentially Qingque when I get her to Eidolon 4 at least. Alright, and then for her Eidolons, she's at Eidolon 0. Okay, and then last but not least is my Pela. These are her stats. Light Cone, I finally built up a Light Cone for my Pela. I've been using a substitute Light Cone. I believe it's Natasha's Light Cone or something for the longest time. But like I said, since there is a double trace event drop going on, I finally decided to level up this Resolution Shines as Pearls of Sweat Light Cone. Although it's only at superimposition level 1, it's still better than just having a blank Light Cone in its place. For traces, these are her traces, not too much investment, the bare minimum. Relics are pretty much the same as before. Some really budget light cones, or not light cones, relics that I'm probably going to have to work on eventually, but for now, they're good enough. Eidolons, she's at Eidolon 4. Okay guys, well that's going to be it for this Honkai Star Rail video. As usual, if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next Honkai Star Rail video. Peace.